Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Live. This is episode 23. And we've got a great show for you today. First up, we're going to be going through your hot scores as ever, some new names this week, which is fantastic to see. And then I'll be joined by Rhys Kruger, who is the owner and operator of Fourth Circle discs. They've got a great range of plastic out. I know certainly there's a few fans out there, so we'll be talking to him a little bit about Fourth Circle. He's going to be going through his Desert Island disc golf as well while he's here, and also be talking about a giveaway he's got for you all, so stay tuned for that. We'll also be talking a little bit about Worlds, so if you don't want any spoilers, then well, look away at that point. And then we've also got an update on Te Upako and the Great Wellington Disc Golf Day, which is happening this Saturday. So first up, let's get on with the hot scores. So starting down in Invercargill, Brenley Marshall and Norman Tudor hit 14 under par to put themselves top of the pile for this week. And in Chingford, it was Jake Brennan who hit 7 under par to take out the hot score there. Some new names in Queenstown Gardens as Andy O'Connell and Ian Coggan hit -3. And at Tucker Beach, it's Mikey Yu once again hitting 10 under par, training out well for Tucker Beach Rush, which is on this day in July, 24th of July. So look out for that one. Ben Quinn at Ely Point hits 2 under to go top for the week. And it's Cooper Solis and Ryan Cambridge who hit 12 under at Lismore to put themselves very much in the driving seat this week. Gregor Brosnahan hits a very competitive 14 under at Jelly Park to keep himself top in Christchurch. And a bunch of players, Brooker Ave hit 4 under this week. Jaden, Jeremy Brockenshire and Callie Thompson all tying for this week's honours. At Queen's Park Reserve, Hoani Adahanga hits -8. A fantastic score there. It's a birdie or die course, and that's an incredible way to go. And up to the capital, Dylan Johnson doing it again, hitting -4 at the Hills in Berhampore. Jacques Duval, once again, Kelsaprise hits -4 at Petone. And Andy Davey doing the business at Heiser, hitting 6 under par at Harcourt Park. It's a lot of people's favourite, that one, you know. At Linklater, Joel Simpson hits 5 under par. And at Spa Park, Nick Wood and Jacob Smith both take out 4 under to put themselves top this week. Chris Harrison hits 8 under at Henderson, and Eldon Pasquale hits 3 under at Woodhill Red Tea. So congratulations to everybody who took out the hot score this week. That was some new names there, which is awesome to see. It gets me looking up names on UDisc. Right, on to our guest for this week. Now, my guest this week is the owner and operator of Fourth Circle Discs, Rhys Kruger. Welcome, Rhys.
G'day, how's it going?
Yeah, very good, thank you. How are you?
Am I on?
I can see you and I can hear you.
Pretty good. Can't complain. That's good.
So there seems to be a little bit of a delay as we cross the Tasman and back. So my apologies to everybody there for that. You'll just have to bear with us, quite frankly. Rhys, Fourth Circle, relatively new disc golf company, producing discs now in Australia, I believe. Can you give us a little bit of a history of the company and how they formed, and you know what's got you to this point?
Yeah, sure. So originally, Fourth Circle I was using as a sort of events running back from 2014. I think I first came up with the name and logo. I then started selling discs, other brands. For a few years, I was sponsored by RPM Discs from New Zealand, which I still have a very good relationship with those guys. I started thinking a bit more about how I can sort of support myself and be playing and everything, and being a sponsored player in Australia and winning events in Australia is probably same with New Zealand. It's not like the money and prestige that it is over in the USA. So I was trying to look at it a bit more, have a bit more thought into it, and decided that if I was making my own discs and representing myself and my own company, then anything that I do and the effort I put in is going to be directly impacting back onto me. So I went down that road. At first, I got our first disc, the Taipan, molded through Pro Discus in Finland. But once we got them over and the import, the exchange costs, shipping costs, the price per disc went up so much that I started looking around locally and realized it was something I could do, just had to put quite a bit of money up front. So I then started making the local discs, which the first one was the Dingo, which is actually my favorite mid-range, even though it came out more stable than it was meant to originally. It's the best mid-range to me that I've ever used. So I was very thankful it came out that way.
Oh, good stuff. So how do you go about making a disc, right? Because I'm sat here going, oh, that sounds pretty awesome. I'd love to do that. How do you go about it? You got to design the shape of it, and then how do you know how that flies and stuff? Or do you take an existing disc and its dimensions and then just sort of change it a little bit?
Yeah, I try and look at stuff like I was throwing previously. I was throwing verdicts and buzzers as my two mid-ranges. I was trying to go for something a little bit in between. So I was trying to incorporate both of those, which the microbead of the verdict, a little bit more shallowness in the buzz, but a little bit more of the buzz shape. So that's what I was trying to aim for. And because I love the feel of both of those discs, so I was trying to get something in between that. It came out actually probably about the same stability as the verdict, but with a little bit more torque resistance. So it wasn't exactly how it was planned, but that's pretty much how it goes. It's very hard to tell sometimes how it's exactly going to come out, because you've got a lot of factors depending on the heating, like if it's humid, if it's cold. When it's cooling, it can shrink more. It can, you can get the nose drop more. You can get all these things happen. So until that disc comes out of the mold, you're not exactly sure. You can get it within a realm, but you're going to be like, oh, okay, that's come out on the more overstable side once it's shrunk and once it's settled. So I think some of the big companies have it pretty dialed in now to get that, and hopefully I will in the future. But the first few is a little bit of a testing process.
Yeah. So you've got to send a design to a tooling company, if I've got this right, and then they make up the mold for it, and then how much tweaking do you get to do once that mold's been made, or is that it?
Yeah, there's just minor things, because you can't really you can't add metal onto the mold, like onto the actual plate. So once you've made something
smaller,
Sorry?
You can't make it smaller or narrower.
Yeah. You can only make it sort of bigger from there. There are ways you can do it, but it can be difficult. So pretty much what you've got, you can add some stuff on there. So essentially you can always make something a bit more overstable. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can go both ways. The original Dingo was a little bit more overstable than it is now. And we added a little bit more plastic to the bottom wing, which straightened it up a touch more. And the Firehawk, the original one, was really flippy. Like it was like a Mamba or something in a Speed 8. There's a video of me throwing it on a really steep hyzer, and it flipped up and over and hit as a roller and then just went right. And that was a bit too much. So we added a bit of shape on top to bring that stability up on that one. So there's minor things you can do. You can't take something that's understable and turn it overstable unless you start cutting sort of bits like more and more out. But you can bring a couple of stability and take it down a couple of stability if needs be.
Yeah, and I guess once you start taking big chunks out of it, that's when you start to lose the kind of the initial kind of essence of what the disc was, the combinations of molds that you've thrown before, or the feel in the hand that you like. Yeah,
and you're pretty much better just to start again if you're going to do that. So it's kind of like, okay, this is what we're stuck with now. This is what it's like. Make it the best we can. We know for next time. So like the next mid-range that'll come out, we'll be able to get right with the stability. next drive, like distance driver as well. So I know what to do for the next ones to make sort of things to change to make it come out better. So
sweet. So after the Dingo, then came the Firehawk, and the Firehawk is a big favorite here, certainly in Wellington. And I know it's popular elsewhere as well.
Yeah,
tell us a little bit about how that was born.
So when Corona sort of happened and we had big lockdowns everywhere, I was getting, at that time I still had sort of a display shop at my house. So people were still coming in and calling about buying discs. And I noticed so many new beginners, so many people wanted beginner discs. So I sold out of everything I had that was available for beginners. So I had a bit of money. I could get access to some of my super, which I took some of that out to really try and get the Firehawk, because I realized, wow, there's this big gap. We've got all these new players. Things are getting held up, and we got so many people wanting a beginner-friendly driver that I just did as best as I could and just put everything into trying to get that as fast into the market as I did. So, and it's just blown me away. It's the biggest seller by far. I think I've sold more of them than the other 3 discs combined. So it's it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, the number of times, I've lost count of the number of times that people will be flicking through the discs at the park, and they'll ask me, "Look, I'm after an understable driver. I'm relatively new. What can you recommend that's a bit faster than my mid-range?" And I'll go, "Try this." And I put a Firehawk in their hand. They throw it once or twice, and it's like, "Yeah, I'm getting one." It's great. It's so popular, and great to have relatively local-ish. Can I say that? A company producing them as well. So that's fantastic. And then after the Firehawk, you produced a putter.
Yes, Huntsman. So again, this come out a bit more overstable than anticipated. So I am actually at the moment having another top plate made that's going to drop that fade down by one and a half. So I'm going to have 2 putters in probably within the next month, whereas I was only planning to have 1 this year, which is not a bad thing, to be honest, because some people want to throw overstable putters. People want a straight putter, so I'm not really upset about it. I think it's probably a blessing that I can get two putters out almost at the same time, and it's still try. I keep getting people almost every day asking, when's the putting plastic coming out. There's some shortages happening with certain plastics, and unfortunately what I need to use to add some weight, we're having some problems getting, and I've done 3 test runs so far. We've pretty much got the mix right. We're just waiting on material to arrive. So again, I'm hoping that's going to happen within a month, and I'm really hoping it sort of happens and I can get the new putter and this one run in the putting plastic at the same time and out there.
Oh, fantastic. And it's actually the new putter that you got coming out that's the subject of our giveaway. So I'm not going to give too much away at this point. We'll get to that. We'll get to that shortly.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of questions from the viewers. It's a question from Morgan. How many discs are you producing annually, and what's your reach like country-wise?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, it's hard to tell at this stage annually, because of the more discs I get means the more I'm producing every year. So the Taipan only had 1,200 made, and that was 3 years ago. We got those, and I've still got some of that original run left. The Dingo I'd made 600 originally, and we've had another, I think, 1,500. The Firehawks, we're onto the 4th run, I think. So, and they've all been a minimum 1,000. So, it's good. The moment, reach-wise, New Zealand and USA, I've just shipped over a couple of new boxes to new shops that are going to be stocking our discs in America, which is really cool. I haven't, honestly, most of my effort with marketing at the moment, well, the last few years has just been locally. And I've been lucky enough that Infinite Discs very fast took us on and have been selling our stuff over there. But I will be trying to sort of market and get out some places. And I've just put a player on the team. Joel lives in Malaysia. He's a Finnish player. He lives there with his girlfriend. He's going to be doing some promoting around Asia for me, which is going to be awesome. And hopefully he can get out and sort of get some stuff into the community there too.
Oh, good stuff, good stuff, and certainly having your discs on Infinite's going to make a difference, right? Because simply because of the number of eyes that are more likely to come across the name, and they may not have heard of it, and etc. So that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Excellent. So well, as I said, your new putter's coming out soon. You got a time scale for it?
I think within a month it should be done. Yeah. So so pretty fast because it's just the top plate. I'm actually say that as well. I'm actually getting a slight retool of the bottom plate for the Huntsman and for the new one. Just tilting, so the inner rim, just tilting it a little bit. Trying to line up with the camera. So it's just going to be tilted a little bit, and we're just strengthening up that shoulder. So it's going to feel a little bit shallower in the hand when you're holding it. So it's still going to be the same depth for putting wise when you're holding it. So where am I going? With a fan grip, but when you sort of grip it and power grip, I keep messing up where the camera is. So when you power grip, it's just going to feel a little bit shallower, and it's going to release off the fingers a little bit better. And hopefully it's going to be a little bit better for touch sidearms as well.
Fantastic, because actually, as someone who appreciates a shallow putter, both for I much prefer a shallower putter for a forehand approach and also for putting with. That sounds great. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
We got a question from Hemi.
Hemi, cool. Hey, man. Yes, definitely. I mean, I've been wanting to come back for years, since I was there for the Nationals at Waitawa in 2015, and I've planned to come back every year, but just as soon as I started making the discs, I haven't even been to many events around Australia. I haven't played Australian since I think I played 2018, 2017. I can't remember which one. 2017 Australian. How many years have we had? I'm confused. Sorry. Corona just throws a lot of things out because we didn't even have one last year. Since I've been making discs, I have just been trying to put everything into that and haven't even been playing around Australia. But once I get this under control and it's running itself, I'll be back over for sure. There's so many new courses I want to play in New Zealand and so many good events. And the caliber of players that's coming up, all over Australia and New Zealand, is amazing. So it would be awesome to get over and compete against everyone over there.
Fantastic. Certainly look forward to you coming over. And there's some great tournaments even coming up between now and the end of the year if you get a chance to come over. I know that Aussie Nationals is at the end of November, which is the same weekend as a tournament in New Zealand. So but I think there are a few people from New Zealand that I've heard who are going to come over for Aussie Nationals. So hopefully they'll be able to catch up with you. Catch up with you then.
Yeah. I think Reggio's opening for Australian Nationals tomorrow.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And it's going to feel fast. I think we've got so many players. It's going to be quick. So if you're planning to come over, make sure you get on that tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean that's what the order of the day has been with New Zealand tournaments as well. You know that they've been selling out in. I think the record is 45 minutes, 43 minutes, something like that. For and that's like 80 people. So like
that's
it's
awesome.
Crazy. It's great. What's really interesting is going to see how does the tour change as time goes on. It'll be interesting to see how Australia tackles a similar problem, albeit with bigger distances between places. So we'll see how they get on as well. Good stuff. Okay, Reese, you're stranded on a desert island. Okay, and fortunately, this island's got a disc golf course on it. Which is a stroke of luck. You've got 3 discs with you, your favorite 3 discs, and 3 card mates who you can play around with. So what are your 3 discs?
All right. So I'm going to pick 3 of my own company's discs. just because probably new, there might be some other discs I'd pick, some like for distance drivers like a Zeus, but my distance driver, I'd go with this Taipan that I have. It's really old. It's been beaten so much. I think I was using this fresh when I won the 2019 Queensland Championships, which was at Granite Mountain, which has got a lot of rocks. And I took this up there to try and start beating it in. Then when I made the Dingo mid-range, this was one of the first ones that came out. And I went to my local course that has a ton of trees. And I literally for 2 months played just with this Dingo, this Taipan, and a putter. And I just tried to beat these things in as much as I could. And so now I trust these two discs more than anything. So they're like
good stuff.
Yeah,
have they still held their stability? I mean, the Taipan for me, when I first threw that new out the box, it was just a mess because I've not got the fastest arm, so it just hooked left, and I was like, oh, that's probably going to be useful for some people. And after some time, has it held the stability for you? And obviously your arm speed's far faster than mine, so is it
like the Taipan? Definitely. They beat in and they're still overstable. Like this guy, I can trust this still into heavy winds for distance, which I'm really happy about. Like this is my main sort of distance driver. Without wind, it's like sort of releasing on an Annie in a big flex. It's just going to hold that line forever. Whereas a new one's going to come out fairly quickly from an Anheuser release. So this guy, I can Heiser flip this up to flat and fade out for that sort of trusty Heiser finish, but it's still held its stability and it's still really good in the wind, which I'm so happy with. The Dingo is just like, it's amazing. It doesn't seem to get any less torque resistant. It just seems to go straighter, which is amazing and what you want out of a disc. So still got to remember sometimes it's still overstable. If I give it too much Heiser, it is going to stay on that Heiser. So I need to remember, like, too much it's still going to finish, but it's throwing it flat. It's just going to hold and just drift and just doesn't go left off that line. It just holds, it drifts a bit and then just won't go any more right. So stability on them is great. And then the last one is going to be one of the proto putters that actually for the Huntsman that came out well. I think it's the only one. So far this is $1,000 disc because I've done 3 test runs of plastic, which were just small, like 20 disc runs, and I had to book in time with the machine. So this is like, I've said to a few people now, I'm like, no one's having, this is like most expensive disc I own because out of 3 test runs, it's the only one that I can use. The other ones that don't pass the stability test, and the first run was way too light. So but this guy, I've just gotten very used to this. It fits my putting style very well. The overstable putter that, I did design this exactly how I like a putter. And so I was hoping I was going to like it.
And that's the advantage about designing your own discs, right? Is that you get them and they come out, and it's not one of those, I wish I had something in between. You got something that's exactly right, eh? Yeah. Good stuff. Definitely. Stuff. So who are your free card mates? Who you bring along with you?
So definitely I've got to go with one celebrity, just if we get to just someone appear that I'd love to play disc golf with, would be Chris Pratt. I think he would enjoy disc golf, and I think he'd be really fun to play with. Besides that, I can't even think. I'd say might think about Simon Feasey, but I think he's just going to get naked too much on the desert island. So I've seen that too many times over tournaments of the year, opening doors at the wrong time. So maybe not him. Probably Eagle McMahon. He's a really good guy. Hung out with him a little bit, and he's amazing to watch throwing. And then the other ones, I reckon like Garrett Gerthy, just to see some bombs, both of them, but Garrett, like, just to be able to watch someone Heiser bomb like what was that eagle he got on the? Oh no, what was it? It was a hole in one on a par 4 on a hyzer the whole way, which is just insane. Like, I reckon, those two guys and Chris Pratt would be my pick.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's hope this desert island's big enough to
yeah. I was when you first said that question to me earlier, I was just like, my first thought was playing disc golf on a desert island. I'm like, there's trees. Like, what do you guys think of over there?
You gotta bear with us on this one, right?
I thought you were talking about it. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, we have trees. And then you said, okay, you're not referring to Australia as a desert island.
No. Not quite. Okay, now we're going to move on to our quick fire round. So we got a family-friendly front 9 for you. The same questions every week for everyone, and then we move on to the Safari 9 in a moment. So these are quick fire, no thinking. Right. Just give us your answer. Are you ready?
Yes.
What's your name?
Reese.
Where were you born?
Spain.
Where do you live now?
Logan City. It's between Gold Coast and Brisbane.
What's your PDGA number?
57993.
How many years you been playing?
10 years now.
Your favorite course?
Lausti in Finland.
Your favorite disc?
Favorite disc? Buzz.
Your favorite MPO player?
Eagle McMahon.
And your favorite FPO player?
Paige Pierce.
Lovely stuff. Okay, next up is our Safari round. You can't really get these wrong. It's a this or that kind of situation. So again, no thinking. Kangaroos or koalas?
Kangaroos.
Sydney or Melbourne?
Oh, Melbourne.
Blues or Maroons?
Maroons.
Thunder or lightning?
Lightning.
Fast or slow?
Fast.
Underarm or sandpaper?
Underarm or sandpaper? Sandpaper.
Thumber or tomahawk?
Thumber.
Overstable or understable?
Overstable.
Putt or drive?
Drive.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Reese, for joining us for that. That was good. A lot of fun. Now, we're going to move on to the giveaway.
Yep.
So the giveaway this week is the winner of the giveaway will win these discs. So there's a whole set here. So we've got a Taipan to start us off. We've got a Firehawk. We've got a Dingo. And we've got a Huntsman. So someone's going to win the whole set. So you've got a whole set of fourth circle discs up for grabs. Reese, what have they got to do?
All right. So what I'm going to do is get. Are we going to get comments on your page?
So people can answer your question in the comments thread below, and we'll keep this open until. Well, what's your plan with regards to this? Actually, you can talk about.
Yeah. So I think I'll do. Probably about at 8:30 your time next Thursday. I'll do a live stream. We'll see what happens, but I can announce it on there and send it through to you. If there's a few correct answers, then I'll just do give everyone a number and just do a random number generator live while we're there to get the winner.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be best. So yeah, comment on here your answer.
So if we say deadline is 5 p.m. next Thursday to get your comments in down below, I'll then collate all the answers and send them across to you, and then you can use that as your random number generator or pick the winner from whatever. All right. Yeah.
Sounds good. So what it's going to be, the first question is going to be what type of animal is the new disc going to be named after? So we're going to have we got small mammal, large mammal, spider, an insect, or a reptile. So those are the 5 to guess out of. Okay. And we're also going to guess the correct name. So I'm actually going to put in for the approval and get the name secured next week before the announcement. So, and also I've got an extra that I didn't tell you about before that I decided today I was going to do. If someone guessed the type of animal and the specific name, The winner from, if it's only one person or if there's more, we'll do the random number generator. But I'm also going to send one of the prototypes of the new putter over. I'll ship that over to the person that guesses the. So if it just guesses the right animal, I'm not going to add that in. It'll just be those. But if someone gets the like the name right as well, we'll announce that on the at the 8:30 slot, the new name, and we'll announce the winner.
Lovely. And it's these fantastic 4 discs, which I'll ship from here to anybody who gets the answer right. So to get it to confirm, if you can have a guess, and if you want to you get one guess, and you can guess the type of animal first out of the 5. And then we'll do a draw if on who wins. And if anybody gets the exact name right, then you're going to ship them a prototype of that one when it comes out. Yeah.
So so write 2 answers. So write your type of animal and then write the name after it. And I think that'll work. Yeah. So hopefully someone can guess it and we can send one of the protos over.
I hope so. This is going to be very exciting. And you're going to announce that. You're going to do a live stream shortly before our show next Thursday.
Yeah. So that'll be 8:30 New Zealand time. So I'll get it just before yours is starting and announce that.
Fantastic. And then I'll obviously let everybody. If people aren't able to tune into yours, then I'll announce it as well. If you're watching and you haven't liked Fourth Circle Discs on Facebook, then make sure you do, so that you can stay up to date with that, and also up to date with all of the comings and goings of Fourth Circle Discs over the next few months. Exciting times. New disc coming out, and maybe some new plastic as well. So that sounds fantastic.
Just say as well, this is for New Zealand people. So if anyone's tuning in from Australia, there's only for people in New Zealand.
That's a very good point. Lovely stuff. Rhys, anything else that you'd like to say while you're on?
Only thing I think I haven't mentioned is I've sent you some of them. We've run a new stiffer blend, which we're calling EX, which is just Eka X, which is the Firehawks are flying a little bit straighter, so not as much turn on them. All the people that have been throwing these at the moment absolutely love these. I think the one I put in for the giveaway was one of the stiffer ones, I think.
I think that's one of them, but I'll have a chat to you after, and we'll make sure that it is.
Yeah. I sent a lot of stuff over. I can't remember.
Yeah, I got a big box of them. It's great. Fantastic. Okay, Rhys, thanks so much for joining us. It's been a great insight to hear about how discs are made and the journey of Fourth Circle. I'm sure there's a lot of people will be thanking you for the insights, and we'll also be entering the competition. There's loads of guesses already coming through, so awesome. It'll be interesting to see if anyone gets it. Good stuff. Look, thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully we can have you on again another time, especially when there's perhaps more news perhaps in the new year. Otherwise, I hope I get to meet you in person.
Definitely.
Either I'll get over to Aussie, or you can, or we'll see you in New Zealand. But thank you so much for joining us tonight. Yeah,
and thank you so much for supporting our brand. And I think you've been selling our discs over New Zealand longer than anyone else, so we're very thankful for that. So thank you as well.
Oh no! Look, they're very popular here, and certainly one of the Team Sweet Chain guys, Jack Ryan, he's a big fan of them. So yeah, good stuff. Thank you so much, Rhys. See you again soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers. Okay, that was Reese Kruger, owner of Fourth Circle Discs. So if you want to get involved in the giveaway, then make sure you pop your comments, your answers in the comments section below. You got until 5 o'clock. Did we say 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock next Thursday. So make sure that you get in your guesses before then if you're watching this on the replay. Now, Worlds has been happening this week. Hopefully you've all seen it and not been living under a rock. At this point, if you do want to not know the answers because you're hoping to catch the post-production coverage and you've managed to stay off all forms of media, then you may want to turn off now. But the update is this. In FPO, Paige Pierce leads the way with 11 under par after 2 rounds. And in second place is Lisa Fakis with a 7 down. That's after 2 rounds, one at the Fort and one at Mulligan's in Utah. And then Katrina Allen and Christine Tatar Lisa Fakis and Katrina Allen are both on 7 under. And then Christine Tatar and Hayley King are on 5 under, tied for 4th place. In the MPO division, Emerson Keefe, one of my favorites, and Calvin Heimberg are currently tied for the lead on 18 under par. Emerson Keefe putting in a hot, I think it was about 1080 rated, 10 under today at the Fort. And then in 3rd place is about 8 players, including Macbeth, Wysocki, Mason Ford, Nate Sexton, a whole bunch of others. What it's meant for our Worlds giveaway that we announced last week, and the winner will win these 2 discs here behind me, the Undertaker, the blue Undertaker, and the gold Tui, is that Craig Lycan is leading the way. He's currently on 6 out of 6. So congratulations to Craig. All of his 6 tips. He went for Wysocki, Heimberg, and Kevin Jones, who's also tied for 3rd, as well as being the only player in the field who picked Lisa Fakis. So congratulations to him. Everybody picked Paige Pierce, so that's not really a decider, and a lot of people went for Katrina Allen. So yeah, and then on 5 out of 6, so still very much in with a chance. We got Brett Carlisle, Cornet Venter, Levi Stout, Rewan McGee, Jacob Eder, Johnny Ferrari, Briar Gardner, Joel Cacao, Craig Gold, and myself, who are all on 5 out of 6. There's 3 rounds still to go. So if you're going to catch any of the coverage, then to catch all of the FPO division highlights, you need to get up pretty early in the morning. But that normally is finished at about 9 o'clock-ish. And the MPO stuff really gets going late morning and into about lunchtime. So look out for that. The final round is on Sunday. So hopefully that'll provide some good entertainment to watch on Sunday morning. Now, the last thing from us today is to tell you about Te Upako, which is the Greater Wellington Disc Golf Club Day, which is happening this weekend. Now, the format is there's 5 divisions. There's stroke play, match play, women's doubles, mixed doubles, and men's doubles. And so the team from Upper Hutt, the team from the city, and the team from Lower Hutt, go Lower Hutt, will be battling it out over those 5 divisions. And there's some very, very strong teams. So Upper Hutt's looking like Mitch Hudson and Chris Sinai playing stroke play, Carson Boone and Richard McDonald playing match play. Paula Wilson and Ellen Woodhouse team up for women's doubles. Jack and Liz Mocker playing mixed doubles. And then Holden Mudgeway and Scott Woodhouse playing men's doubles, which is a stacked Upper Hutt team. The team from the city, not to be outdone, you've got Brady Cush and Andy Davey playing stroke play, Jack Ryan and Jung Ha playing match play, Minky Vorster and Tinta Tam playing women's doubles, Brett and Cyril playing men's doubles, and Tom and Ollie also playing doubles there. In Lower Hutt, it's Alex Martin and Stuart Clark playing stroke play, Shannon Garton and Francis Orange playing match play, Linga Fiola and Kath Headley playing women's doubles. That women's doubles is going to be a fantastic close division. So keep an eye on the UDisc event, which I believe is being set up to be able to track those scores. Myself and Jacques playing men's doubles, and then Dion and TJ Rawadi playing mixed doubles for Tima Karu. So if you're going to be in Wellington this weekend, come along, play some disc golf, have a feed, have a good time. It's a day when Wellington can celebrate its disc golf. So if you're going to be around, then come along to that. Otherwise, there's not many tour events going on this time of year. If you've seen the weather, that's probably a good idea. But we've got Tucker Beach Rush, which is on this day in July, 24th of July is the next one. And then Harcourt Park hosts Fault Line Fury in the last weekend of August. Registrations will be open soon. That's it from me. Have a great week. Enjoy the disc golf this weekend, whatever you get up to. Stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.